These are the top pickups for week 12 in fantasy football. That's right, this is Nesto's Crystal Ball, where every week I look 1 week ahead to see who the top pickups will be the following week. My daughter's in gymnastics right now, but I need to rush and get this video out to you as soon as possible so you can be the guy in your league when everyone rushes to get the hot new waiver pickups. They realize, oh, they're already on your roster. Historically, I've been that guy. It's a big part of why I won 36% of all the fantasy football leagues I've been in the last 20 plus years. Gonna mention at least one player under 50% owned, one player under 10% owned at each position. Let's go. Quarterback, I have to shout out Jacoby Brissett once again. He's had 4 straight games now with 250 plus passing yards and 2 touchdowns, plus a QB sneak in there for good measure. Under 10%, I want to highlight Tyrod Taylor. I know he's not going to start on Thursday, but there's a chance he gets the job after another Justin Fields abysmal performance. Dang, starting to drizzle out here. Jets get Miami, Jacksonville, New Orleans, weeks 14 through 16, so there is going to be a fantasy relevant quarterback on this roster. Whoever's starting might be Tyrod. If you're curious where I rank all these guys, by the way, you can go to my site, fansports.com. I'm updating my rankings every single day to give you the best fantasy football rankings on the whole internet. At wide receiver, I already said my piece about Alec Pierce. He's on bye this week. If he's available, go and stash him for the next week if you have the space. Same thing goes for Parker Washington. I liked him last week. I already talked about him. He was a hit. Last guy I want to talk about is Chimere Dike on the Titans. Titans desperately need playmakers. He was actually the top drafted receiver on their team ahead of Elikiah Manor, and I still think he's the top receiver in the pecking order there. He ran the most routes in his game despite only getting the 1 catch for 5 yards. He could have more upside. Under 10%, I have 2 guys. Number 1 is Mac Hollins against Cincinnati in week 12 is a great matchup. If we see him follow up from his 100-yard performance he had last week, then this could be a top guy. This is a great offense to be a part of on the Patriots, even if he's going to be a little inconsistent. At running back, Tyler Algier has standalone value for week 12 against New Orleans, even if Bijan Robinson is healthy. I talked about in Nesto's numbers how Algier has more than doubled the goal line carries compared to Bijan. I've also said for a few weeks now how Amari DeMarcado is the most interesting running back on Arizona. I still think Trey Benson is at least a week away from returning from injury. And DeMarcado might be like a Bucky Irving type who is pigeonholed as being more of a third down back, undersized RB, but has clearly been the best running back on his team and might become just the bell cow by the end of the season. I've already talked a lot about Sean Tucker. Check out my videos on him. Under 10%, I want to highlight Isaiah Davis. Go ahead and pick him up, especially if you're in a Yahoo league before the Thursday night game. And as I said, the Jets have a good schedule down the stretch. At tight end, someone might have dropped Juwan Johnson on bye this week. He is going to be a solid play the rest of the year, one of the safest volume bets among tight ends. You may know my ranking methodology on fansports.com is more about volume than trying to be an NFL talent scout, so I like Juwan Johnson more than the expert consensus. Looking a week ahead for defense, they're 51% owned, but the Cleveland Browns get the Raiders in week 12. That's going to be great. At kicker, I like Cam Little, who has the biggest leg in history, and in week 12 he gets a good matchup in Arizona. Under 10%, I really like Zane Gonzalez, who has a great matchup in week 12 against New Orleans and an even better matchup week 13 against the New York Jets. That's all I got for this one, guys. Don't forget to check out fansports.com, where I post my streaming picks. I have a trade analyzer, and most importantly, I have my rest of season rankings for everyone in the NFL, which I update every single day. There's also a longer version of this video if you go to my Patreon. I release the unabridged versions of my videos before I post them everywhere else at Nestoverse. Thank you so much for spending a few valuable minutes of your day with me here. I'll see you in the next one. Stay learning. Peace.